Sifs, Kintaro 19. Hi friends, I'm TTB. Welcome back to Fix My Mech, the show where we take your mech builds and try to improve them if you're struggling with them a little bit. So Sif said he wanted to build a Kintaro 19, take advantage of this mech's streak and pulse quirks to make it a fairly good close range brawler. Works pretty decent if you don't get range gapped and if you get the drop on somebody, especially lights and mediums. Let's have a look at the loadout and let's have a look at the quirks. So we're running 2 streak 4s, a streak 6, 2 medium pulse lasers, a tag laser, a beagle probe, 3 double heat sinks, a light engine 280, and 3 tons of streak SRM ammo. Alright, let's have a look at the quirks. We've got pulse laser range, we've got energy cooldown, we've got streak SRM range, missile cooldown, and heat. Alright, so a couple of things that I see here that detract from this build a little bit. I get why you're trying to use the medium pulses, because you have 15% pulse laser range. But you're just using 2. Like 2 medium pulse lasers in the big picture are not going to do much. So I would recommend not to use the medium pulses here. The tag is another story. You could use the tag. I understand what you're trying to do with the tag. You want to be able to shoot at targets that have stealth. But in my opinion, I wouldn't even worry about that. I would remove the tag and I would focus on the streaks, because you can get a lot of streaks in here. So let's see how many streaks you can get in here. Right? Then we will have to change the mech a little bit probably, but I think we can get 4 streak 6s in here. Right? You can only shoot 3 at the same time, otherwise you incur ghost heat, of course. So what you can do with this, you can look at the engine and you can say, you know what, I'm gonna go XL with this. Because with XL, you get this mech a lot faster. You already have Endo Steel, you already had live ferrofibrous. So if you go XL, you can have plenty of ammo for your streaks. That's 5 tons of ammo. You could even go 6 tons of ammo if you wanted to. You've got the armor and everything. Or you go slower. That's also possible. You can go slower with like a light, what is that, 270? Can we go full ferrofibrous with this? No, we can't, right? Nah, that's too much. So let's see, light ferro. Yeah, you're basically locked into like a light 265, which gets you still almost 80 kph of speed. That would not be bad, because you can also go ahead and you can just strip that right arm. And from the tonnage you get from that, if you really want to, you can add a tag laser here, right? And just have that arm stripped and go 78 kph, or throw in the better engine or the faster engine with an XL. And I would just try it out with an XL. Go XL 300 here. And you also get 1 extra ton. We have, what is that, 6 tons of streak SRM ammo. That should be plenty. But you could also get another ton of SRM ammo if you want to, or just 2 double heat sinks. This is the kind of Kintaro that we've run successfully in scouting, when scouting was still a thing, because it's just a really, really nice mech. You got your 4 streak 6 launchers, you got the Beagle active probe in here. That's a really, really good addition to this build, by the way, so I'm glad you had that in there. And that way you can just run this in a very streaky fashion. The only thing, as I said, you're missing right now is just the tag laser. And I wouldn't bother with the medium pulses, because instead of 2 streak 4s and a streak 6, now you've got 4 streak 6s. You can shoot them in a group of 3 and then a group of 1, or you can just shoot them in groups of 2, like the 2 torso mounts and the 2 arm mounts together. And that will give you a little bit more firepower. Also make sure that you have this head actually up in armor. Yeah, this is the point where I would actually recommend to just pull 1 double heat sink right here. Make sure that head is armored up to over 30 health, of course. This doesn't have a skill tree yet. And armor up the legs as well. I think that's going to be definitely worth it. You could also think about adding an AMS if you wanted to. You could drop the double heatsink, get an AMS with some ammo in there as well. But this should be fine. Armor up this a little bit more. Boom, you're done. So we could run something like this. Really, really nice brawler. Makes use of the streak hard points, of course. I don't think there's any point in giving you a SRM build right here, because this mech has streak quirks, 10% range plus 10% cooldown. So yeah, that doesn't really make any sense to change anything here. The other thing you could do, if you really want to use the pulse lasers, like if you really want to make use of the pulse laser quirks, let's see if that would work. Because you're not locked into medium pulses. You can use large pulses here. The question is it going to be too heavy? Because you only have 55 tons, but it could work, but you will probably have to go XL. So you could go with 3 large pulse lasers in this mech. Get the range, get the cooldown, and the heat. The problem is then, what do you add into your mech? Because if you go with the 3 large pulses, you don't really have that much else that you can add. You could think about doing something like Streak SRM2s, but Streaks are kind of heavy. So you could potentially go like this. 2 large pulses, and then 4 Streak 2s, but I don't think that's going to be very good. But it is definitely playable. But you will be limited by the engine. Let's think about a build that actually makes use of all the crooks, if you really wanted it, if you're really dead set on it, with the medium pulses. And I would go 3 medium pulses, and then we would need to look at Streak SRM4s, I think. Maybe not even make use of all the hard points, but we'll have to see. So if we go Streak 4s here, yeah, that would work. Do we run to Ghost Heat? Yes, we also run to Ghost Heat with a Streak 4s. So maybe pull 1 Streak 4, turn that center torso slot into a Streak 6 launcher. Not have any Ghost Heat. We have 3 tons of Streak ammo. We're missing the Beagle Active Probe right now, right? Yeah, we're missing the Beagle Probe. Yeah, we add the Beagle Probe back right here. These heat sinks go internal into the engine. 3 tons of ammo for the Streaks. We got the medium pulses here. And then we could even go ahead and say, you know what? Add in an AMS and a half ton of ammo for the AMS if you wanted to. Or another ton of ammo for the Streaks. It's really up to you. You could even go ahead and move that Streak launcher in here into the side torso. Maybe even go like this. Yeah, actually, there's several ways you can go about this, but Streak 6 and 2 Streak 4s is probably the best bet for you here. Yeah, and then as I said, either you could go AMS and like a half ton of ammo here, right? Half ton. There we go. That way you make use of all the crooks that you wanted. You've got the same streakiness. Basically, what we did is we added an AMS and added a medium pulse instead of the tag. I think you're gonna have to XL it though if you want to go with the medium pulse lasers, or if you're gonna go with a strong streak build, you're gonna have to XL it. So yeah, these are your options basically. I wouldn't bother with going with a large pulse laser build because you're gonna end up with like an arm-mounted large pulse laser build, which really doesn't feel good. Now let's say, for example, you really do not want to use an XL engine. Let's say you really don't want to use an XL engine. Let's put a light 300 in there as a placeholder and see what we could get. So we want to use the Streaks for sure. So 3 Streak SRM launchers, all right. We need our Beagle Active Probe. That is a must-have. Okay. Now we've got, let's see if I cannibalize this arm. We got a couple of tons to work with. All right. So light engine 300 would work out if we wanted to. 3 Streak SRM6, and then you could go ahead and just use medium lasers. You're not making use of the quirk for the pulses here, but the pulse lasers are just too much weight. You're also still using the 15% energy cooldown. So 3 medium lasers, you got your 3 Streak 6s, you add your ammo in with 3 tons, and you're done, basically. As soon as we add light ferro here, we can actually armor up this arm as well. Can we go full ferro? Hang on, I'm sorry, I misclicked. There we go. Fully armor up that arm, fully armor up the head, everything is full armor. 3 tons of ammo for the Streaks, 3 Streak 6s with ammo, plus 3 medium lasers. That's also going to be a solid build, and that way you don't have to worry about the light engine 300 here. And for the skill tree, for this build, I'm not going to do the full skill tree, I'm just going to show you the most important ones. You want heat gen because Streaks after a while get hot, you want range, you want velocity. Then if you use the lasers, of course, laser duration, you want skeletal density and full armor hardening. And then I would recommend, if it's going to be a mech like that, closer ranges, you definitely want to have seismic. And then you're going to go double crucial with crucial cooldown, I would say. Actually, it ends up being a full skill tree anyways. Weight deprivation, really important. And then, well, we got 10 points left. What do you do with 10 points? You could go heat containment and cool run. You could also look maybe, let's see, how much points is that? You could go into speed check, but I don't recommend that at this point. You You don't need torso speed as much, or yaw or anything, anchor turn as well. I would probably invest those points into cooldown, and at that point get an extra, what is that, 7.5% cooldown from our weapons, and run it like this as a fixed skill tree. And chat just found another build, guys, so if you want to be a little bit more spicy, even with a light engine 300, streak force, streak 2, plus small pulse lasers, the idea is to get, of course, a engine as big as possible to get in range and be able to brawl while not dying to a side torso crit. So that could also be a build if you want small pulses and streak brawling, but this is going to be a little bit more of a challenge build than it is going to be an insanely good build, I feel. But for duking it out with light mechs and mediums at close range, this is going to be very nice as well. Well, there we have it, guys. What are your ideas for this beautiful Kintaro 19 to make use of the either the Streak SRM mount quirks or the pulse laser and laser quirks? Let me know in the comments down below. This has been TTB with another Fix My Mech episode. Hope this was helpful to you. Guys, if you enjoyed this content, if you want to support me, then check out either the join button right here on YouTube, the super thanks button on the comment section, or the video description below. This has been TTB. Have a great day.